The South Sydney Rabbitohs preparing to enter ANZ Stadium here at Sydney Olympic Park. They sit in third on the live ladder. Provisional poll or top spot calls their name. And there is a cardboard cutout of John Sutton. There are 7,501 John Suttons here this evening. The real one, and 7,500 masks to honour a man who raised 300 games last weekend here when beaten by West Tigers. But given it's a South Sydney home game, the club will celebrate not just 300 games for John Sutton, but the 150th played by Dane Gagai last weekend. And it's a real milestone night here because Adam Reynolds plays game 150. Alex Johnston, the South Sydney fullback, 100. And you jump over to the opposition, Mitchell Moses, 100 games for him as well. I'm Matt Russell. Great to have you with us on Fox League as Super Saturday continues. Beside me, a couple of former Canterbury club mates reunited, Josh Reynolds and Michael Ennis. Mick, South Sydney, they're hoping to bounce back from last week's defeat, and these men are hoping to go back-to-back for only the second time this season, the first time since April. But South Sydney, can the Bunnies bounce back?
Yeah, just been down on ground level. We can see on the vision there Sam Burgess laying down the law, and it needs to start with their forward pack. The ground was in immaculate condition, as good as you'll see at this time of year through winter in Sydney, given the weather we've had. But I'm expecting a really big start from South Sydney. It's going to be intriguing to see how they bounce back from where they were dominated last week by the West Tigers through that centre third of the field, and watching the Parramatta Eels warm up. Everything was between the scrum lines, plenty of energy and plenty of support through the middle. So they are going to be tested and they are going to need to improve.
And Josh Reynolds, did your men, the West Tigers, give these men, Parramatta, the template to follow against South Sydney?
I sure think they did. Last week, the boys, they come out, they add enthusiasm, and it doesn't happen too often. And the South big boys were stopped last week, and as we were saying before, when South forwards aren't going well, it's when Damon Cook can't get into the game. So I think tonight, South will come out fast, they'll start fast, Cookie will be probing, and it'll be a big game for Johnny Sutton.
Big game for this man, a former West Tiger, now a Parramatta Eel. Game 100, he made his debut in 2014. A nice little milestone for the Carlingford Cougars junior, 23 years of age, Mitch Moses. Tries in his last two games, Mick.
Yeah, I thought an area of their game last week against the Bulldogs that really improved was their kicking game, in particular Moses and Norman. They did a tremendous job, and tonight with this back three of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, they are going to need to execute that again as we see John Sutton. What a player he has been. Plenty of emotion down there at ground level regarding what a legend he has been for South Sydney, their Premiership captain in 2014.
A kiss from mum, his girl's in his arms. He is a Burrow favourite, and the Burrow has been waiting to celebrate this. They created the banner for him to walk through. They've unfurled the banner, and there's the godfather of South Sydney. You have aspirations on Hollywood, Mick. What role is Russell preparing for there?
Cut it out. He just said to me in the lift as we came up, as he gives us the peace sign, he said he's been living in the 80s. He must be doing a movie from back in the 80s. What a character he is, and what a great supporter of rugby league.
John Sutton handled all the duties around his 300-game milestone dutifully and beautifully. His coach, speaking for that man, said he's probably had a gutful of it by now, but in game 301, their first home game, the celebrations for John Sutton continue alongside those other milestones I mentioned, Dane Gagai, and today, Alex Johnston and Adam Reynolds, game 150 in his 7th season as a South Sydney Rabbitoh. This season, 2 tries, 9 try assists. Will it be a winning evening for South Sydney? They wanted to celebrate last week against West Tigers. Can Parramatta make it back-to-back defeats for the Rabbitohs? Or can the Bunnies bounce back? It's George Burgess leading them into battle, and the battle up the middle will be intriguing. Now Angus Crichton, second carry of the game. We've seen a beauty to start Super Saturday. A remarkable Penrith comeback to beat Manly. What are we in for here? In Western Sydney, quick hands as straight away South Sydney go to their left-hand side, their potent left edge. And this man, Robert Jennings, profiting last time against Parramatta with 4 tries. Now Thomas Burgess takes the 4th tackle in the opening set. Middle of the ground, it's Sam Burgess lining up his battle with Nathan Brown. Should be a beauty tonight. And Damien Cook spirals a pass for Adam Reynolds, high above ANZ Stadium. It's down and taken safely by Jared Hayne. Back in a wing position for only the 2nd time this season, Mick.
Yeah, it certainly is. Last time he played the wing other than in round 7 this year was back in 2008, Matty. So a long time since we've seen Jared Hayne out on the flank, but a great start from South Sydney. Just that energy, a little bit of ball movement. Not surprising they went to that left-hand side of the field where they've been so dominant, and a lovely kick from Reynolds to start the game.
Marata Niukore with a run. His first year of NRL footy. He's worked his way into the starting side. Niukore starting for a 4th game in a row in jumper 11. There's Kaiser Pritchard, middle of the ground. Sasaya Vave. It's Daniel Alvaro, Kaiser Pritchard, Sasaya Vave in the front row for Parramatta. The big assignment for the Eels pack as the kick returns for Graham on a wing. This big, tall, rangy winger. And South Sydney get their hands on the ball again. They've got a good record against Parramatta at this ground, winning 10 games to Parramatta's 5, so 10-5 head-to-head here. And South Sydney control the overall battle as well, taking 68 of their 125 meetings. Cook out of dummy half and running. Walker doing likewise out of dummy half towards the left. Here's Heimel Hunt filling those big shoes of Greg Inglis again. Inglis due back, round 23 against Brisbane. Reynolds goes high out towards the wing of Hayne again. Graham couldn't get through to get a good go at the ball.
Wait for players.
And the penalty goes to Parramatta.
Yeah, a bit of contact there on Jared Hayne from Campbell Graham. Lovely kick again. You could see the vast difference of energy in kick chase. South Sydney, plenty of energy and spirit coming through in their kick chase line. On the other hand, the kick from Moses. I mean, the left edge of Parramatta just dawdled downfield, and in the end, Reynolds came up with an attacking kick inside the opposition 20.
Gee, that hurts as a half, Mick. You know, Reynolds puts it on the spot and then gets tackled in midair. It's definitely getting him out of trouble there, Parra.
Here's Daniel Alvaro. How are you expecting Parramatta to approach this game, Mick?
I just think they're going to play like we're seeing here. Plenty of support, plenty of forward plays through the middle. I'd love to see their outside men, in particular Hayne and Jennings, coming through the centre third with that footwork, really trying to get the 2 Burgess boys fatigued through a lot of defensive work and then bring Cook out of the game.
Vave plays the ball. He's been their starting prop for the last 3 games. Alvaro with a cut on the head. You can see some blood running down the cheek. That'll be spotted shortly by the referees if the trainers don't get there first. Norman High out towards Graham again. Hayne couldn't get a clear go at the ball. It was shoulder to shoulder with Dane Gagai. And again, Campbell Graham good enough under the high ball. Gagai.
Yeah, that's better from Jared Hayne, really leading the way. That's what you expect from your experienced marquee man, Hayne there. Plenty of energy in that kick chase. Something that's been really prominent in the last few weeks of Jared Hayne's game.
Waiting.
And a penalty goes to South Sydney, which gives us the chance to say good evening, Hannah Hollis.
Good evening, Matty. It's a fast start tonight, isn't it? Now, arriving into the ground this evening, it's clear South Sydney want to make tonight a memorable one for their 300 game of John Sutton, from renaming the grandstand to dance troops outside, video messages inside, and a bunch of activities. The fans tonight can really show their appreciation, and I'm not sure if the mics are picking it up, but they're already getting right behind South Sydney, letting the refs know exactly what they think of the calls. As for sideline conditions, it's 15 degrees, only the slightest breath of wind around, and while rain was on the cards, it's looking pretty dry in the sky.
Beautiful evening, isn't it, in Western Sydney. As South Sydney find themselves in good position. Cody Walker looked inside. Now it's outside. A long ball from Reynolds to Graham. It comes back in field.
Kaiser Pritchard's in big trouble, Matty. Kaiser Pritchard has made a tackle on one of the Burgess boys. He's in big trouble in back play.
Defending with one arm as they head towards his position on the field. Their preferred left side, South Sydney. Here's Hunt with a bit of a shimmy in his step. Back for Cody Walker. 360. Now Alex Johnston. looked for an offload, but takes the tackle. 5 out the Rabbitohs. Here's Thomas Burgess from close range.
I think his shoulder's out of the socket. I mean, he just stayed in the defensive lines. We see an error there from South Sydney. This is incredible. The bravery of Pritchard to put himself back in the defensive line with what looks to be a dislocated shoulder.
It's actually a great shot. He gets under him there.
Thomas Burgess carrying the ball, and you're right, that was the tackle. Look at it again, remembering that there is no Cam King. He's out injured as well, so Reed Marnie will see early game time again. Just some of the forwards missing for Brad Arthur. Tony Williams, Bo Scott, Manu Ma'u, Kenny Edwards is gone. Cam King, and now a problem for Kaiser Pritchard.
It's terrible. I mean, he's shown so much talent at times, Pritchard. It's just his body that's let him down. I remember back last year, the contact, he upended Sam Burgess a number of times. He's so courageous defensively, but his body is just not holding up, the poor number 9.
Well, he returned against Canterbury in that win against the Dogs from a groin issue. And you're right, Nick, across his 6 seasons at Parramatta, he has been so willing. He just picked up injury after injury.
It'll be a great opportunity for Marnie. I mean, he's shown tremendous talent since getting an opportunity in his first game up in Darwin a number of weeks back. Really good young prospect.
Brad Takarangi playing in the centres again, switching between the back row and centre roll. Basically just shuffling out of position. Here's Reed Marnie running into South Sydney territory. An early blow for Parramatta with Kaiser Pritchard off because of that shoulder problem. Now they shift the ball. Niokore it is. Tackled 25 metres out on the last. Takarangi called by Norman, who gets the ball now and kicks through the line towards the uprights. Johnston is there. It's a good kick. They're under pressure, the Rabbitohs. Johnston gets away from one, then backs over the dead ball line. Good kick, and they force a goal line dropout.
That was well summed up there by Corey Norman. I think he wanted to put it in the corner for his first option, but seeing Alex Johnson was, not out of position a bit and puts it in, and a great chase. As Mick was saying before, kick chase is about intent, and Parra showed plenty there.
Yeah, good to see. It was Moses and Michael Jennings that lead the chase, two experienced campaigners for the Parramatta Eels. Terrific kick. Touched on it early, Matty. The closing stages against the Bulldogs last week, Corey Norman's kicking game was first class. That's a great start from Norman off the boot.
He forces his 22nd dropout of the season, most in the NRL. Corey Norman. It's a fantastic facet of his game. Alvaro back.
Lock in square.
And good ball in this set for Parramatta as they build an attacking set. Vave, middle of the ground. Marnie called by Moses through Norman. Here's Niokore trying to steamroll Graham, who did well but concedes a penalty.
There's your mark. Onside, Joe. Onside.
They look terrific, Parramatta. They have started this game with plenty of energy and plenty of intent. Norman down this left-hand side with Takarangi and Niokore. Outstanding to start the game, asking plenty of questions of this right edge of South Sydney, in particular Adam Reynolds, under all sorts of pressure.
They were fantastic last month when these teams met round 15. It was just 2 points the difference at half-time before South piled on 6 tries in 16 minutes to win it 42-24. Moses, Norman, short and flat, tip by Moroa, handled by Walker and John Sutton. Reed Marnie called flat by Vave. He just takes a settler, backing into Cook and Tom Burgess. Gutherson. Catch and pass for Norman Moses. Numbers, a long ball out for Hayne. Hayne caught high by George Burgess. And here's the penalty. It was more a glancing slap at first look, but it was high, and the penalty seat, the referees see it.
Yeah, well, he was on his skates, wasn't he? Big George Burgess. I thought the catch and pass was on there rather than the long cutout pass. They had South Sydney stripped for numbers, and then you see Burgess just hanging out the arm. It's tired. It's probably lazy, if anything. Not a lot in it. Haynes, he's bounced back to his feet, and at the moment, it's good signs from the Eels. catch and pass. I thought it was try time there.
Yeah, I think if he hits Takarangi, he scores. He's got a good left foot too. Come back on the inside. Yeah. I know it was lazy by Burgess there, but, you know, it's good from a front row to get over there in the corner.
Yeah, it was a good effort.
So Brad Takarangi sent back to the mark. Little things count. Great position for the Eels early in this contest. Now Norman with a cutout ball. Michael Jennings confronted by Hunt, who falls off, and Cody Walker along with Sutton wrap it up. No George Jennings in this one. He's out with a groin injury. So Michael goes against Robert on the far side of the ground as you look at it at home. This is Vave. Marnie goes deep with the ball for Moses, out the back again. Norman thought about going long. The defence got up and put him off. It was Reynolds and Graham because Hayne was unmarked on the wing. Now Moses, Alvaro. Still 10 outs. That's tackle 5. Big play here for the Eels. Gutherson went flats. It was knocked on by Tepai Moroa.
Jared Hayne here, obviously throwing his hands in the air. He knew he was unmarked. The chance went begging there for the Eels. And then Gutherson, he's just overplayed his hand there. They had all their shape. Moses and Norman back to this left-hand side of the field for Parramatta. And the pass went astray and relieves all pressure from South Sydney's defensive line.
Mick, you said it was brave of Kaiser Pritchard to battle on with a bung shoulder. Well, we have someone similar in the commentary box. Josh Reynolds, the scapula has been fixed. We have the technology. We can rebuild you. You are the $6 million man.
Yeah, mate. It's hopefully it is rebuilt. The old scapula. It's caused me a bit of grief, but yep, on to 2019 for me now, mate.
Josh, you're in a similar situation. I mean, it's been one of those years for you. We talk about Pritchard just struggling to get going. How frustrating is it when you finally get back onto the field?
Yeah, there's nothing worse. It's especially for me this year. It hasn't just been one thing. It's, you know, it's been my hamstring. It's been my shoulder, and I just love playing footy. And Kaiser seems to be the same type of player. You know, he's hungry. He wants to be in the game. He wants to be in the contest. And there's nothing worse than, you know, coming here game day and not being able to play with your mates.
So 2 fractures in the scapula, fixed with a steel plate, and you'll hit the off-season and be back for West Tigers in 2019. That's the doctor's summary.
That's the plan.
The doctor said it's from carrying a heavy wallet. Matthew.
You don't miss a chance, do you, Michael? I've heard that reference multiple times this season. Cook scurries, then offloads. Here's Thomas Burgess. Crashing to ground, 10 out. A very handy penalty to South Sydney late in the previous set. Puts them right on the attack. Sam Burgess yet to score this season, Sam. It's been the twins crossing for the Burgess family. Here's one of them, Thomas. Looking to go over again. Cook. Oh, easy for South Sydney. Dane Gagai. Running off Damien Cook. South Sydney score first. And after last week, their fans say order restored.
Well, Damien Cook, that's his 8th try assist of the season, and he sums it up beautifully. Again, that momentum from Tom Burgess's carry caught the Parramatta defensive line napping and a gaping hole as Gagai just steamed through it. And there we see he goes awfully close to the dead ball line here. We see Mahoney come in. And South Sydney, after being under all sorts of pressure on their own line, the poor pass from Clint Gutherson, and they go downfield, earn themselves a penalty, and who else but Damien Cook in 2018 sets up a beautiful try for Dane Gagai.
It's only his 2nd of the season. A man who's played 10 Origins, 5 Internationals for Australia in game 151, one of those milestones being celebrated in this game, having posted 150 in that loss against West Tigers. 27-year-old Dane Gagai, he's a great setter.
Yeah, and it, once again, it just comes down to South Sydney this year. A quick play the ball from one of the Burgess brothers. Damien Cook summed the situation up perfectly, but if they don't get a quick play the ball, there's no try there.
Yeah, and you hear Cody Walker there in amongst the huddle saying, we earned that, boys. We turned them away down our end. We survived that tough period, and as we've done so often, we go down the other end and break their hearts, and that's what they've done.
And it can happen sometimes, Mickey, when you're in a defensive line, you defend, and when you finally get that change of momentum, you get down there and you seem to score the try.
Well, that man, Adam Reynolds, a bit of history in game 150. He passes Bernie Purcell to become the second highest scoring Rabbitoh all time. The only man ahead of him now, Eric Sims, because Adam Reynolds, 1,128 points. Eric Sims, 1,841. Sideline Hannah.
Matty, it's interesting when you look at the head-to-head between these two teams. In the past, the Eels have dominated the first half and the Rabbitohs have dominated the second half, but today it's been a fast start from the Bunnies, and they've actually scored first 11 times in the 16 games that they've played at ANZ.
Nice strike rate, isn't it, as George gets busy. Can Parramatta bounce back? Can they find the half-time lead? They've been beaten 10 times, all 10 times this season, when trailing at the break, the Eels. Here's Sam Burgess up the middle. I'm looking for Nathan Brown. The two former teammates, both of them full of aggression, looking to own that middle third of the ground.
Yeah, well, he was Parramatta's best players. We see Cook again out of acting half to Walker.
Left side Hunt. Here it is for Robert Jennings. Support inside Alex Johnston. Jennings couldn't find vacant air and he takes the tackle from Gutherson. On the front foot, very much the Rabbitohs. Reynolds kicking across the ground towards Graham, who was up among two fallen Eels, or falling Eels. Hayne and Takalangi, who do enough.
Yeah, a little too heavy, the kick, but what a take from Jarryd Hayne. He's come up with some good takes in the opening stages. This was the crossfield kick there in the replay box. Terrific take, Jarryd Hayne.
We wondered whether Hayne might play on the right side for Parramatta to counter Jennings and South Sydney's left edge attack, but they keep him on Parramatta's left, which means Bevan French has an almighty assignment this evening.
Yeah, well, given the fact they've scored 38 tries down that left-hand side of South Sydney, the best of any team in the competition. I'm with you, Matty. I thought that experience of Hayne, may have seen him go down the right-hand side for Parramatta.
I reckon there's a sign near Redfern Oval, no right turn. They just keep going left, the Rabbitohs, and profiting from it this season. And the Eels get a very handy penalty. 25 out. What are the instructions here? It's within kicking range. Mitch Moses.
No, keep going. I mean, they've got nothing. They're not playing for the top 8. They haven't got nothing to play for. They are playing to find confidence for 2019. They'll lay this right-hand side of the field, I think, and come back. They've had some real value down South Sydney's right edge.
Vave inside the 20. Up the middle of the ground, Nathan Brown. And there are 3 bunnies there to stop him. George Burgess, John Sutton, Damien Cook rolling away as well. Reid Marnie onto the field because of that Kaiser Pritchard injury. The grubber scooped up on the run by Robert Jennings. And he's trapped in goal. So again, South Sydney are forced under their crossbar.
This is really smart play from Mitchell Moses. We see there the South Sydney side had put their late defenders coming out of the tackle onto the other side of the field. He overcalled the ball. He tried to thread the needle. He did so, but the runner on the outside got checked, but he gets his side a repeat set, and they sustain possession. They've been very good in the opening 19 minutes, Parramatta. They've been terrific.
Well, you mentioned it. They're trying to avoid a 14th wooden spoon. Win this, the Eels, and they'll go level with North Queensland, Canterbury and Manly on 5 wins for the season. You'll have 4 clubs on 5 wins, bottom of the ladder. It would be anyone's woodwork, so to speak. Alvaro. Already this round we've seen the Cowboys win, Canterbury win, Manly beaten in amazing circumstances earlier today. So those 3 clubs on 5 wins, Parramatta 4. Let's see what they can do in this one against South Sydney. Nathan Brown it is. Getting the offload away for Marnie, who loses it backwards according to the referees. He cleans up. Norman finds Gutherson, a change of angle provided by Takalangi across field, looking for an opening. John Sutton with the tackle. Vave just passes it back for Norman. A tricky little kick in behind Gagai, and South Sydney take no chances. Yeah. A 3rd goal line dropout forced by the Eels.
Their halves are giving them every chance. I really like that play from Parra, bringing Takarangi back on the inside. But the right-hand side of Parramatta, someone's got to push. If you're going to drop Takaranga, that's one of his great plays. But the right-hand side, they got to push. They got to push for each other. And that's what South are doing, which Para aren't.
This is where Parramatta have been really good, Matty, of recent weeks. Tim Manor coming onto the field, so too Penny Terapo warming up. Just that extra leg speed through the centre third of the field around the 20-minute mark. Look for Parramatta now to really start and build some momentum through the ruck.
Avave getting the breather. The goal line dropout down for Norman. Here are the fresh legs. The co-captain, Tim Manor. Now Alvaro, the starting front rower. Still looking for his first try of the season. Daniel, the Italian international. Moses fires the inside ball for Nathan Brown, and Marnie was trailing, but there was no free arm from Brown. Norman. This is Moses. Shapes to go deep. Instead, it's flat for Tepai Moroa. Moses. On for Norman in front of the uprights. The inside ball for Tim Manor. Well read by Damien Cook, who rides the Parramatta Eel into the ground and now out of dummy half. Reed Marnie set on, and they'll change it over a metre out.
Yeah, it's been a mountain of possession. That's up to 60 now for the Eels, and they're yet to come away with any points. South Sydney again terrific on their own line, defending everything that's been thrown at them. And young Marnie there on the last tackle, just trying his luck. Probably a little inexperienced, but nonetheless chancing his arm, full of confidence.
Well, South Sydney scoring plenty of points. We know that, 24 points per game, but Parramatta, the fewest in the league, 15 points per game. I can see you jumping around up here, Josh Reynolds. If you were on the field for Parramatta, what's your go-to play right now? Or next set, they get down in attacking position.
Yeah, well, as a half, I feel Para's halves are giving them every chance. They need one of their forwards to just rip in and get them a quick play the ball. They seem to fancy their chances on this left-hand side, so keep going with it because they're getting a little bit of joy, but someone just needs to generate that quick play the ball.
That hurts, Matty, that penalty there. It's the second time now that they've been under pressure, South, on their line, and got a cheap penalty coming out of their end, and already through that kicking game of Reynolds, they are on the attacking 30-metre zone.
Middle of the ground. South Sydney.
That ball now, Nathan, one more. Hold! Tim, lock square, Tim. Tim, lock in.
Burgess, the ball spills free.
Yep.
We haven't seen a lot of those handling errors from the Twins this season. In fact, the Twins have been fantastic. Fewer errors this season than in any of their previous NRL seasons, both of them. But right there, they take a trip back in time. It was Thomas coughing it up.
It's a good shot from Nakora, right in under the ball. Now a penalty for Parramatta, crowding the call there from Alan Shortall, the referee. That's terrific, just lowered his target. Smack straight in under the ball of Big Tommy. The ball just came spewing out, didn't it? Relieving error.
He's been good tonight, Nakora. He's caused a bit of trouble on this right edge for Adam Reynolds too, and then a great shot then on one of the Burgess boys.
Here it is here. Watch this, lowers the target, bang, underneath.
Dennis like.
Turn it up.
The 21-year-old Howick Hornet, Marata Niokore. Great shot. Parramatta find themselves 20 metres out. Marnie a long ball. Moses running onto it. Now Norman rolling it off his hand for Michael Jennings. Game 254 for Michael. Now Nathan Brown goes it alone and stumbles over as contact comes from George Burgess. Now a penalty. You can see the position they are in, but
wouldn't you love to see advantage played there? I mean, all the momentum with Parramatta had the right edge of South Sydney stripped due to that fast play the ball from Brown, and this just helps the Rabbits, reset their defensive line. Manor.
He takes a settling run that comes to an abrupt halt, courtesy Sam Burgess. Marnie on for Norman. Here's Niokore. Adam Reynolds wraps up the legs. Parramatta able to build so much pressure so far in the first half, yet to get anything to show for it. The ball to ground, picked up there by Tepai Moroa.
Cody now!
They come back the other way. Again, it's Tim Manor stepping his way inside the 10. Norman. held the ball instead of using Nathan Brown, and they get another penalty.
That's why you get the penalty.
And it's a number of penalties now, isn't it?
That is the warning.
And that's the warning.
From
Seventh
Peter Goff.
penalty.
Hold the line.
We saw Danny Levi sin bin last night up in Townsville.
Where we're at.
Repeat infringements from the Newcastle Knights.
No problem.
In a different point of the field.
So Daniel Alvaro winds up. This goal line defence from South Sydney has been really good so far as Brown got away from Sam Burgess, who raced up looking for that big tackle, that statement tackle. Marnie on for Norman, up in the air. Brad Takarangi has Campbell Graham put him in the bear hug and shut him down on the spot. Now Norman, here's Moses for Alvaro. Nothing doing for Parramatta. Second phase might open something up. Moses shows it and runs, and is grabbed by Murray.
Cameron, now, get road.
Here's Hayne, other side of the field now.
Coffee.
And another penalty. The warning still stands, so
There you
a
go.
breather will be given to someone, and that will be Heimel Hunt.
Well, that's now their 8th penalty. The Parramatta Eels, and repeat infringements on their try line sees Heimel Hunt go to the sin bin. Josh, I think it's getting to the point now where Parramatta are trying their luck on the right edge. They're trying their luck on the left edge. It might be time for Moses and Norman to start running the ball.
Yeah, they have to take the line on, Mick. There was a bit of second phase there. Mitchell Moses got the ball and took the line on, and nearly broke the line. It seems to me that it's a set-up play for a big play, another set-up play for another big play. Someone's just got to tuck it under their arm, and then, as you said, Mick, I think one of the halves has just got to, big left foot, big right foot, and just take one of these tight forwards on.
Yeah, I'd like to see Moses or Norman take the line on with that man there, Jared Hayne. Great signs for Parramatta. Him coming from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, starting to probe and roam and look for opportunities. They need more of that from Hayne.
Heimel has been watching the sin bins this season because he has taken an eternity
Unbelievable.
to amble from the field. Only now does he cross the sideline. I've seen Sunday strolls in nursing homes slower than that.
Well, last night was a farce, the way that Levi walked off the field and then ran up the tunnel. It's something we've got to address.
Here's Manna. Fighting in the tackle. South down to 12 men. Moses did well to take the ball, but then threw a scrappy pass. Bevan French bounces away from Walker. A second time as well, still going French. Bevan French, 45 NRL games, 33 tries. Here's Terapo. Fresh onto the field for Brad Arthur. Marnie heads off to the left. Norman, the long ball taken and then thrown back infield towards Takarangi. Back through the 5'8". Hayne, middle of the ground. They'll go out to the right now. Dropping underneath, Tepai Moroa. He's held by Murray and lifted into the ground. Norman, they kick across field. The jump is there from Graham. He's left the ball. Clint Gutherson dives on it, and Parramatta get their first points. It's taken a lot of hard work, but the kick and Clint Gutherson have combined to provide.
From no try, confirmed that there's not a knock-on by Parramatta in the contest.
So you hear there.
Yes, just on the contest.
The kick across field from Norman, they're onside.
The Parramatta left side kick chase is cleared as onside.
It's Takarangi that's involved in the contest. Graham flies high above the pack. Goes straight through Campbell Graham's hands. I can't see a touch there from Takarangi.
Well, it's been sent up as no try. So we've got to prove
there's no way that he
beyond
touches
doubt that there is no touch, and that replay would suggest that there is enough evidence to overturn the on-field decision. Josh?
Yeah, I definitely think. I think it's a try.
We'll see Takarangi's arm there. It's the other angle.
There's no touch by Parramatta in the contest. We're playing on post this point.
Great call. And then you'll see it's Gutherson that loops around. Gagai loses sight of the ball. And a lunging effort. Parramatta on the board.
And we have a grounding by Parramatta. We have a decision.
That's the voice of Jared Maxwell in the bunker with Brian Norrie. They will green light this for the Parramatta Eels, who will kick to level it up. Clint Gutherson getting his 4th try of 2018.
Well, it came on the side that I wasn't expecting. I mean, I know they've targeted South's right-hand side, but given the fact Hymel Hunt has gone to the sin bin, I mean, they didn't really test their left-hand side at all, but it was a lovely kick. His kicking game has been superb. Norman in the opening half, and Gutherson, well, as always, he just competes. He just competes on everything, puts himself in the picture, and Parramatta, they're on the board.
And I feel that was probably the only way it was going to happen. You know, we were talking about Parramatta's attack, but South's defence was unbelievable. You know, and but I don't care what team you are, if you camp down, you know, down there for that long, eventually you're going to score, Mick.
Yeah, and
32 tackles Parramatta have had in South Sydney's 20-metre zone.
And they've asked a lot of questions. They haven't just gone through the motions using forwards in block plays. They've asked plenty of questions.
32 tackles to 5 in the opposition 20. And as Mitch Moses adds the extras, Hannah Hollis sideline, what can you tell us about Parramatta hooker Kaiser Pritchard?
Well, Maddie, it was a dislocation of that right shoulder. He came from the field, went straight up the tunnel with the doctor, and I can confirm the doctor is still with him in the tunnel, in the sheds, trying to get that right shoulder back in. I can't tell you just yet if he'll return to the field, but I'll bring you up to speed as soon as details come to hand.
Thank you, Hannah.
That's incredible, given what we saw from him, putting himself back in the defensive line. Yeah, that's as brave as you'll see from young Pritchard.
Well, he lacks none of that, and he's shown us it year after year. Parramatta back on level terms, courtesy the fan favourite, who is Clint Gutherson, and Jared Hayne back in the middle of the field.
It looks like they've moved him to fullback.
Here's Penny Terapo.
No, he's coming back out onto that left wing. Maybe he's just got the licence to roam, which is good coaching from Brad Arthur.
When they've been attacking in South Sydney's 20, we've seen him on the right side of the ground, almost coming in as a back row centre-like position. Moses shows it, takes the line on and almost gets away. Sutton did enough. Moses, second time around, still running Mitchell Moses. Tackled 10 outs. Final play. Marnie sends it through. Takarangi, who kicks, looking for Jared Hayne. It will be an aerial battle. And it's a mismatch when that man, Campbell Graham, is involved. And now Parramatta have to turn to defence. Great counter, South Sydney.
Yeah, Dane Gagai got away with one there. Clearly ran Jared Hayne off the ball. It was looking to be a one-on-one contest between Hayne and Campbell Graham, but South Sydney now over halfway, and Robert Jennings.
Hasn't seen a lot of ball yet, Robert Jennings, the man who scored 4 tries last time against Parramatta. In Big Brother Michael's 250th. Inside the final 10 of the opening half. Walker out the back for Adam Reynolds, who runs and then kicks. Hayne or Norman happy to watch the ball bounce towards Clint Gutherson.
He'd like his time over again there, Adam Reynolds. Wasn't a lot doing then when he kicked the ball. No, Takarangi was caught infield and he had them stripped for numbers. Probably just needed to take the tackle and then come down that short side with Cook. It's been a cracking game, Matty. It's been a terrific start. The opening half an hour has had everything.
And the scoreline shows that, locked at 6. South Sydney wanting top of the table as they continue their quest for a 22nd premiership. And Parramatta wanting off bottom as they try to avoid a 14th wooden spoon. Here's Penny Terapo to the line, backed up by Jared Hayne. Hayne runs and beats them all. Other side of the field, licence to roam, licence to thrill. Mate. Jared Hayne.
What a start to the game it's been for Jared Hayne. We only spoke moments ago about this roaming licence that Brad Arthur has given him this evening. And he has injected himself. Watch Terapo here. Comes onto the ball at a rate of knots and finds that Jared Hayne looming and pressing through the centre third. Backs his ability, takes on Johnson, takes on Walker. And the Hayne plane takes off at ANZ Stadium.
He's back. He's back, Mick.
Oh, it just gives you... It's reminiscing of that 2009 when Hayne gets locked and loaded. He locks the ball in that right hand and just sets sail. There is no better side in rugby league than Jared Hayne in full flight. Lovely play from Terapo.
And this is what we expected from Parramatta at the start of the year. I think the set before Mitch Moses, he had two cracks, two runs in the same play. And then Jared Hayne on the other side hits a great hole off Terapo. This is what everyone expected at the start of the year.
And it's what you expect from Jared Hayne. Yeah. I mean, when he came back in that story over the summer of Jared coming home to Parramatta, this is what Parramatta fans expected, given what we saw at the back end of last year. To add someone like Jared Hayne who can do just that was going to set them on path to play in the finals and in the top four. But it just hasn't been. And I mean, Jared Hayne, that's the consistency we need now. And tonight he's gone looking for the ball. They are a better side when Hayne is in this mood.
Jared Hayne giving us a fantastic round 20 highlight. The try converted, Parramatta leading by 6 straight after this game. We're down to Melbourne, where Billy Slater's Storm will look to accommodate the Canberra Raiders. No Ryan Hoffman for Melbourne. And they've got a great record against the Raiders. Can Melbourne go away with this minor premiership? They came into the round on top. But Jared Hayne, he needs one more try to equal the great Brett Kenny, second all-time at the Eels. He's on 109 Parramatta tries. Burt with 110. And then Luke Burt leading the way at the Eels with 124. So Jared Hayne, great to see him run and deliver the sort of highlights that we've spoken about in years past.
Good tackle there. Cameron Murray. Terrific tackle.
Oh, look at that one. It was Sam Burgess making big contact on Penny Terapo. Hayne picking out Damien Cook. Second in the league for tackles per game, Damien Cook. Put on his back. Nathan Brown by Murray and Reynolds. Corey Norman off the left foot. Down the scrum line for Alex Johnston, who slips as he tries to step away from Gutherson and Manor. In fact, it was Reid Marnie leading the chase with his co-captain. Robert Jennings, stopped by Tepai Moroa and Brown.
Well, the challenge for Parramatta now is the fact that, you think back to round 15 when they had a similar start, led 14-6 at the half an hour mark, and then allowed South Sydney to come up with 7 tries. And they need to... What they've done a terrific job so far has been able to halt that momentum of the forward pack of South Sydney and sustain possession. And they need to maintain that now for the remainder of this game.
Here's George Burgess. Stop 30 metres out. Reynolds runs and grubbers again. It's a peculiar kick to finish the set that sits up perfectly for Parramatta.
Yeah, brilliant pressure there from young Marnie. Gave him no room, gave him no time to kick the ball, hunted him from the inside. And in the end, it was a nothing kick there as we see French. He's come looking for work. Great signs, Matty, from some of the outside backs of Parramatta.
Well, Bevan French, he's a long, long way from his right wing, isn't he? As the defence goes up a gear.
Wish he didn't have that one, Gutherson. Cameron Murray's right shoulder.
Now Brown. Some of Parramatta's best footy this season was the first half against Souths in round 15. They faded badly in the second half. This is reminiscent of that. The first 40, good take by Alex Johnston. And Josh, when a team has a big winning streak like South Sydney and then has it ended. What's the result of training like that week? Does sometimes your first loss make it easy to pick up a second quickly after that winning streak is broken?
No, I think you definitely, you go back to training and you probably say, we might not be going as good as we think. So you go back to the basics, you go back to the little things, the energy plays. And at the start of the game, I think South were all over Para in the little 1%ers, but it seems to have shifted. Para's kick chase is great. As Mick just said, their kick pressure is better. So if a game keeps going like this, it's going to be an awesome game.
Well, the sin-binned Heimel Hunt about to return, but he's watched Sam Burgess and Murray combine with an error for South Sydney.
We see Heimel Hunt now coming back into the fray. His sin-bin time is over. And this was the ball from Sam Burgess, the no-look pass. Just dropped there on Cameron Murray. And in the end, he couldn't hang on to it.
Big celebration for South Sydney again because of all the milestones last week and this week. And as Hannah mentioned earlier, we do have a grandstand, the Eastern Grandstand here for the day named after South Sydney's 300 gamer John Sutton. As Parramatta kick off the back of the scrum, turning South Sydney around quickly. They skid back to their goal line and will be trapped in goal.
Good play.
So it will be a fourth goal line dropout forced on the Rabbitohs.
Well, this is a side that we spoke about, willing to chance their arm, given the fact they are out of finals contention, but South Sydney aren't. And the desperation here from Michael Jennings. I know it's Bevan French that comes through and accelerates. Johnson, he goes over the top, but there's Jennings. Comes through, comes up with a terrific tackle and puts Johnson back in the in goal. And again, they mount pressure. The Rabbits, they have hardly been able to get out of their end in the opening half, and 65% of possession with the Parramatta Eels.
You know what player I love there from Mick Jennings, Mick? He got checked, and when a lot of players get checked, they just stop. He kept chasing, and look at the result he got.
Parramatta forcing 4 goal line dropouts to 0 in the first half. And Tim Manor.
Well, Tim Manor, he's into retro round. He is winding back the clock, Matty. Big Timmy Manor.
Indeed he is, 30 years young, the Guildford Owl. Now a Parramatta Eel in his 10th season.
How good's a goatee?
NRL at Parramatta.
How good is a goatee? Hey?
You should try one. Simone would love it. Manor busy again. 12 out in front of the sticks. Street Marnie.
Thanks, John.
Held for a long time as Manor jumps into dummy half and throws the ball for Nathan Brown. Final play, Parramatta. Moses with the ball. He passes. Norman on for Jennings. Well read by Heimel Hunt. Just back from the sin bin, who slips off the tackle. And Michael Jennings. Too much persistence. Just shakes Heimel Hunt. It's good enough for Peter Goff, and it is great for Parramatta.
Well, it's reward for effort. Matt, that's what it is. He's the player that came up with the forced dropout, the chase that we spoke about on Alex Johnson. And we'll see here. It's a one-on-one tackle from Heimel Hunt, but Jennings just doesn't give up on the play. Shrugging, twisting, gets rid of Hunt, and then just accelerates for the corner. And the frustration building for South Sydney. And it's all Parramatta and Michael Jennings. What an opening half it's been from the former international centre.
It was only a few weeks ago, Josh, that he was dropped to Wentworthville during Parramatta's bye game. He went and played the Warriors in the Intrust Super Premiership in Auckland, scored a try. But what a wake-up call, or what a statement from Coach Brad Arthur to say to his $750,000 a year international and former Origin centre, go back and show me more.
Yeah, and that's it's a good thing from Brad Arthur. He's sort of saying to his team, I don't care who you are, if you're not performing, you're not going to be a part of this team. And for someone like Mick Jennings, that probably would have been a big wake-up call. And I know Mick personally, he would have went away, it would have hurt him. And as you said, he scored a try in that game, and now he's back to his best. He's chasing everything, that sheer strength, that sheer speed that we know. He's a classy player, and if he keeps getting that early ball, he'll do this all night.
Yeah, in his 12th season of NRL, and despite the heights he's reached, was still sent back to the Intrust Super Premiership. 30 years of age from the St Mary's Club as the sideline conversion attempt holds it line. Beautiful for Parramatta. 18-6 the lead. And Michael Jennings, he's played the Bunnies 18 times, 9 wins, 9 losses. Can he enter positive territory this evening as he makes contact with Alan Shortall? 7 internationals Australia, 9 for Tonga, 8 origins. And he gets over the line. That 250-game milestone might have been ruined by South Sydney, and particularly Little Bro, but Big Bro gets one back.
Yeah, 136 tries. It's been a phenomenal career, and the last few weeks of Jennings since returning from Wentworthville showing that he's got plenty left in the legs. And off contract at the Parramatta Eels. It's a vital time for Michael Jennings in terms of his career. And he has put in a tremendous first half as Norman.
Easy.
He'll run the ball over the sideline to end the first half. Been a terrific half from Parramatta.
Yeah, they trailed 6-0. They've answered with 3 consecutive tries. They've gone up a gear defensively. Their energy, their determination, their intent is there. Chasing just their 5th win of the season, Parramatta watched Dane Gagai go in for the first try, but then answered with 3 of their own. And as we enter the second half, the Eels have a handy 12-point buffer, hunting back-to-back wins for just the second time this season. A couple of veterans have been front and centre. Michael Jennings, Jared Hayne, and 18 points to 6, a good scoreline if you're a fan of blue and gold. Tim Manor, as Mick Ennis mentioned in the first half, winding back the clock. That man, Corey Norman, busy as well. Josh Reynolds and the aforementioned Michael Ennis joining me in commentary. Josh, what stood out to you about the Bunnies and the need for them to improve in the second half?
I just think they're not getting what they want. When the Bunnies are at their best, Cook's in the game, Reynolds has got the ball on the string, whereas Parramatta are the total opposite. Their halves, they're getting repeat sets, their forwards are getting quick play the balls, and Jared Haynes is back to his best.
Yeah, Damien Cook there, he's only been limited to 1 run in the opening half. A player that's averaging 94 metres a game out of dummy half. And it's been the forward pack of Parramatta. We've got Alvaro, he's at 106 metres, Brown at 108, and Tim Manor, 126 metres in the opening half. The forward pack of Parramatta on the back of possession have given the likes of Jennings and Gutherson and, of course, Jared Hayne. What a first half it was from Hayne.
A try scorer. He bobbed up everywhere despite playing on the left wing for Parramatta. We saw him in a full-back role, in a centre position, left and right side of the field. Jumping up everywhere, and Manor starts the second half like he finished the first. We are celebrating retro round on Fox League going back to the 90s. And South Sydney might be cursing us as Parramatta throw the ball out the back, and as a result, it will be knock-on against South, so a scrum. Parramatta will keep the ball, but just back to the 90s, the theme of retro round. During that decade, South Sydney, 6 coaches. They didn't finish higher than 9th. They'll be quite happy when Fox League leaves the 90s, Michael.
Oh, I actually received a phone call back in the day from Paul Langmack as a young kid at Newcastle to go to South Sydney at the time. Obviously had guys like Danny Badiris ahead of me, and as you mentioned, Matty, it was a tough period for South Sydney through the 90s, but boy, haven't they turned it around in the 2000s. We see Anthony Seibolt's been a tremendous season from him. Michael Maguire obviously getting that premiership in 2014. We see Marnie now out of dummy half. He's been terrific since coming on from Pritchard.
Who left the field with that seemingly serious shoulder injury. The 90s for the Parramatta Eels, also difficult until the back end of it when they made the finals in 3 consecutive years under Brian Smith, 97, 98, 99. No premierships for either club during the 90s. As see in the replay box, that tackle is Niokore, stopped by Murray and Angus Crichton. Let's have a look at what's been said to South Sydney at half-time in terms of the way they respond, their energy in their second half early on. And the take is good. The tackle even better. Marata Niokore times it to perfection. And Alex Johnston knows he's on a rugby league field.
Well, he's shown some great intent, Niokore, hasn't he? throughout this match. A lovely shot there on Johnson. Seeing him come through here and just absolutely creases him. Great play from the left-sided back row from the Eels.
Now George Burgess bumping clear of a couple of defenders. Getting to halfway, Cook trying to run off the back of George. Brown and Niakore stop him, but he's a good 18 metres into Parra territory. And Cody Walker goes high, letting it drift out towards the eastern sideline. No one wanted a bar of it. It bounces back, and it is still there and cleaned up by Gutherson. Parramatta play on from there.
Well, that's incredible. I mean, the South Sydney are on 28 competition points, equal in the league. And the desperation there from Gutherson absolutely exposed them. What were they doing, South Sydney?
He had to run 30 extra metres than all the South players to get that ball, Mick. That's the little 1%er thing that South are just not doing tonight.
Brown catch and pass. Moses sees Moroa changing the angle. Murray and Burgess make the tackle. Parramatta looking better and better as Brown goes to the line and passes again for Terapo.
He's been superb, Brown. He has been superb through the middle for Parramatta.
Playing against his former club. The long ball for Parramatta opens up and is kept in the field of play, but there's a whistle now.
Scrum straight out. Scrum in here, guys.
So Hannah Hollis has had her ears over what was said at half-time. Hannah?
Maddie, I can tell you there's one happy coach and one not so happy coach. Can you guess who I'm talking about? Anthony Seibold, not impressed with that first half, but he said all the things you would expect a coach to say. Focus on completions, make sure you have possession and communicate in defence. Meanwhile, over in Parramatta sheds, one happy camper, Brad Arthur, he pretty much said, keep doing exactly what you're doing, boys, and if there's one thing I want you to do, keep that defence tight. Just an injury update too on Kaiser Pritchard. He's done for tonight. He'll be having scans tomorrow on that right shoulder.
Thank you, Hannah. As Parramatta push in the scrum, Cook comes away with it. But I don't think South Sydney could do what they wanted to or planned to from the back of the scrum, given the push from the Eels. Cook had players falling all around him, on top of him. He just ambled forward into the clutches of Parramatta.
Nathan, let's lock in.
Now Walker finds Sutton running close to his hip.
Mitch, heads off the ball, no more.
South Sydney are off their biggest loss of the season, actually. The 22-6 loss to the Tigers, their heaviest of the year, as Gagai, the Rabbitohs' only try scorer so far this evening, goes to ground eventually.
Hell now, hell.
The Rabbitohs' equal highest score of the season, 42, came just over a month ago against Parramatta. 42 is a long way off as we stand.
Tempo, no more.
Cook runs and finds support. Cody Walker through. Now he looks to link up, kicking instead. Straight into the tummy of Jared Hayne.
Let it go.
Souths get the ball back and get a fresh set. Burgess standing 3 or 4 metres out, and here's a penalty offside the Eels.
Well, they won't mind that. Parramatta, lovely play from Cody Walker. Slicing through, he makes it look easy. As he just pushed through the centre third of the field, trying to get the left-footed kick over the top. It was ricocheted off Haynes' chest. And now South Sydney through George Burgess.
And again, Walker's opportunity was opened by Coops. Cook scurrying out of dummy half. He gets in a position here, right in front of the uprights through Burgess. Reynolds intercepted by Jared Hayne with 1 try already. He is going to race away for a double to equal the great Brett Kenny on 110 Parramatta tries.
I want to check the contact there,
The plane is out of fuel. Time for a rest and a maintenance check, but Jared Hayne is winding back the clock.
Try, just confirm there's no knock on by Jared Hayne in his catch.
Well, Alan Shortley wants to look at how Jared Hayne came away with this ball so easily. They rolled the dice. It was Adam Reynolds. And from there, Hayne just reels the ball in. And unless that touches... Yeah, then it does. It touches Alex Johnson there. And that won't be a try. Great call from the official. We see it just touch the fingertips there. Right there. They're just looking for the still frame.
Jared
there.
Hayne attempts to take possession with his left hand. The ball then goes into a South defender, which constitutes a knock-on. We have a decision.
And the South Sydney faithful rise. And what a disappointment for Parramatta, in particular Jared Hayne, who has been outstanding here this evening, and he just set sail for the try line.
How good does he look when he's confident? You know, there was 4-on-1 there, and he still nearly come up with the play.
It's the frustration for all Parramatta fans this season. I mean, his last month has been superb, but Jared just makes things look easy when he's in form, and tonight he's come in that mood.
And it's on the wing, Nick. You know, playing from the wing, usually sometimes it's hard to find work. He's looked like he's played wing, centre, full-back, 5'8", and half-back tonight.
Well, the freedom, Josh, he just looks so happy when he's given a licence to not be locked into one position, to be able to float around the field and be able to pick his moments.
It's a long walk after your race. 80 metres.
Right, here we go.
Hurts.
Yeah, and the challenge for him now is he's fatigued, Matt, and
Let's get 6, Parramatta, let's go.
what he contributes now at the back end of this game.
Heads in, thanks, baby. Lock them in, guys.
So what a turn,
Lock 'em
because South Sydney
Righto,
feed the
here we go,
scrum
heads
10
down,
metres
heads down.
out.
Here we go, out.
Rather than being behind possibly 24-6, they get a chance to score here as they probe on the left. Here's Robert Jennings trying to crash through. You can see how close he is. Big brother playing a role in denying him. The Harbour Bridge pass finds Cody Walker, and the defence raced up in time, so Cody couldn't catch and pass. He plays it 12 out. And Damien Cook called by George Burgess. George through the line momentarily, then held by Nathan Brown. Cook on for Sam Burgess. Nice angle run by Sam, but the defence is up to his challenge. Still 2 plays left. South's Cook trapped out a dummy half. They lose a play right there. Now Reynolds feigns to kick. Instead, it's Walker across field, off Heimel Hunt and into touch. South Sydney. What a scrappy end to that set.
It's just not coming together tonight for this left edge for South Sydney. But it was great pressure from the Eels defensively. Given the heartbreak of Haynes' try being disallowed, they're up in the faces, taking time away from the Rabbitohs attackers. Tremendous effort there from the Parramatta Eels, and high fives going everywhere.
Right, Tepai. Lock in square with your foot, please.
It's funny what pressure can do, Mick, to, you know, South's coming off a loss 2-3 weeks before this. Reynolds puts that in the corner, they probably score. But, you know, they're under pressure tonight. Doesn't come up with the right option, and, you know, ball goes into touch on last play.
Yep. Lock in square.
The voice of Josh Reynolds in the Fox League commentary box. Straight after we're done here at Sydney Olympic Park, it's down to Melbourne.
No more.
The Storm against the Raiders. Melbourne looking to stay on top of the table, the position they entered round 20 in.
Damien now, heads away.
As Nathan Brown plays it just short of halfway, and Norman steers the ball down towards the southeastern corner. Johnston gets it eventually, supported by Campbell Graham, but Johnston goes it alone.
Right over to Murata away.
He's playing his 100th game. What a debut season it was for Alex Johnston. He made his first appearance in the NRL Anzac Day 2014. Finished the year with 18 games, 21 tries and a premiership. A great arrival for a man now in his 5th season at South. Sucking in the deep breaths at the back. Hunt. Sin-binned in the first 40. And again, Damien Cook shoots out of dummy half and takes good metres.
Nathan, up now. Locked in. Holding you in.
Heard the referee's call, locked in. No whistle. And Reynolds goes high. We haven't seen a lot of the Adam Reynolds torpedo bombs tonight. It's taken comfortably by Jared Hayne. Josh as a kicker, what thought goes into end over end or torpedo bomb? Is it timing? Is it field position? Is it all of the above?
Yeah, I definitely think the confidence is saying again. You know, if Adam Reynolds is confident, he's putting up those big torpies, but it's just the way the game's going. He's not getting everything he wants, so He's trying to come up with a play for his team, but it's just not happening at the moment.
Big play there, and a penalty.
It's a
goes
strip.
to
There's
South
two
Sydney.
in there. No. There's two players. No one drops off before you strip it.
And you can hear the explanation. Multiple players can't strip in the tackle. If one or two or three fall off and you're one-on-one, you can go again. A slight rule variation on the way it's been interpreted in the past. And consecutive penalties now in favour of South Sydney.
Righto.
Trailing by 12, the Rabbitohs looking at back-to-back defeats after going 9 in a row. Cook holds the pass up for George Burgess, but the crash and bash approach doesn't work that time. It's Tim Manor underneath George Burgess, and eventually the ball follows. Now Sam Burgess trying to reach over the line. Still to break his 2018 duck.
Don't play it on him there, Sam.
They detangle. A slow process again. Down this left side. Reaching out and just short is he. Cody Walker. Needs longer arms, I think.
He got no try.
You remember the 97 grand final when O'Davis rolled the ball towards the line. I think he may have done the same here. He reaches out. Oh, there's a blade of grass in it. Well, that angle there isn't going to tell the story. This is the one here. I don't think it's... The top of the ball rolls over, but where the ball is actually on the grass, is it there?
It's been ruled no try. You've got to prove absolutely that the ball touches the white stripe. It may have.
Yeah, I think it's a try.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It will be if it's no try. Just wait.
But can you overturn that?
No, you can't.
Well, that there...
Possession is maintained by Cody Walker based on the on-field decision of no try. There's insufficient evidence to suggest that the ball has contacted the goal line.
I think it's
we have
the
a decision.
Call.
Well, if head curator Graham Logan spilled a bit of paint there or had a big night on the drink and put a little kink in the line, Cody Walker is a try scorer, but he won't be. He cannot prove he found the line.
It's up here.
Sorry, we got to play the ball up there.
Tackle short.
So you got to play it up there.
I didn't think it was fine.
Thanks, Bobby. It's 4, Adam.
Hey, just wait, Cody.
So
Just
two
wait.
It'll be
plays
4.
left in this set for the Rabbitohs.
4, Adam. Hold, go.
They haven't scored since the really early stages of this game through Dane Gagai. Cook. Alex Johnston has Angus Crichton changing the angle. A big fend away from Brown. Twist away from Tepai Maroa. Now a fend. He's beaten 4. Still going, Angus Crichton. What a run. Now Reynolds. His kick into the shins of Marnie. It bounces back for Terapo. And play on is the ruling.
His kick pressure has been outstanding. The little effort areas that Brad Arthur wants from young Marnie, he has delivered in spades tonight. He has been a pain in the arse, so to speak, of the kickers of South Sydney. He has harassed them with every opportunity. It's been superb from the young dummy half, Reece Marnie.
Reminds me of someone I used to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trent Hodkinson was very good at that. He was very, very good at that.
A couple of Canterbury clubmates, Josh Reynolds and Michael Ennis, beside me in the commentary box. Hannah Holler's sideline as the action continues on Fox League. Now it's Jennings. Norman gets the kick away, end over end. And it's not played at by Alex Johnston. It bounces back towards his fullback.
It has to be a penalty.
Shoulder charge.
Well, it just had to be. Bevan French was denied the opportunity. Now, penalty to South. No, yeah.
On the advice of the sideline official, the touch judge, the penalty is called.
Wait. No.
Yeah, well, we saw in the first half, Dane Gagai, I thought, got away with one. But this time, Robert Jennings, well, he takes out Bevan French there. His eyes are on the ball, but I think he knows where And he just leans in there to Bevan French. It had to be a penalty. It had to be. And again, if that effort isn't there from Bevan French to get to the contest, there is no penalty. And that's where they've been superb tonight. That's where they are beating the Rabbitohs at the moment in desperation.
Now they attack again, and South concede another penalty. A hand on the ball. And the reason that's penalised is because it slows down the play of the ball.
But at some point, you're giving it nothing down there, and everything that's 50-50, you're giving it.
Sam, that penalty, you come with the ball at the bottom all the way up. That's why it's a penalty. Be very careful the words you use, Sam.
Yeah, frustration building now from big Sammy Burgess. And Parramatta taking no chances. You spoke about the battle not only for the top four, Matty, but this battle for the wooden spoon. And given the results we've seen already in round 20 with the Bulldogs and the Cowboys getting wins, the heartbreak at Brookvale Oval, all of a sudden, this 2 points for Parramatta becomes vital.
Over the last 10 games, Parramatta, the only wins have been against North Queensland in Darwin and Canterbury here last start. So not a lot of joy for the Eels over the last 10 weeks. And here they are leading South Sydney 20 points to 6. Beyond 2 converted tries now. Just under 26 minutes to play. And as you can expect, players on the field and future players in the grandstands getting a little restless. Especially when young boys are sitting side by side in opposite jumpers.
Well, it was 24 to 6 at Brookvale Oval with under 20 minutes remaining there. 64th minute, they were leading 24 points to 6, the Seagulls, before being run down. So South Sydney, given some of the attack that we've seen in 2018, are still alive here, but it is starting to get away from them. Oh,
Sam, that contact.
Oh, no thanks.
Well, doing all the destruction for Penrith, the likes of Viliami Kikau. Here's a mistake by the Eels, celebrated by South Sydney. My point was going to be, who is South Sydney's Viliami Kikau and co?
Well, I think given what we've seen this season, maybe John Sutton down this left edge. I mean, given the occasion here this evening and the faithful that have turned out, Sam absolutely cracks Terapo there and then argues his case and gets the call his way. And South Sydney with an opportunity, but you just get the sense that it's going to come from their left edge. And I think it'll be either John Sutton or potentially Alex Johnson.
In we go. Lock off.
Although Johnson's a little different frame to kick our Matty, I beg your pardon.
Very much the case. As again, South's head down the left through Johnston.
You need 10, Mitch.
Sutton back towards open field. Murray into Gower, Terapo.
Held now. Off the arm, David. Penny.
Cook behind the decoy runner for Walker. Now Reynolds, Crichton! Crichton gets over the line, but he's been held up.
That's
Clint Gutherson knows, Peter Goff knows, and the bunker's about to show us.
I do have a penalty against Parramatta for the contact on Sam Burgess before the grounding.
Well, given the run that we saw from Crichton only a couple of minutes ago, where he shrugged off 5 or 6 defenders, when he goes through here, you think try. The lunge from Hayne stops his momentum, and the desperation from Gutherson, who gets under the ball, rolls him onto his back. Ooh. And then the assist from Norman. Yeah, hard to overrule that. That's a brilliant try-saving effort from Gutherson and an assist from Corey Norman.
We haven't seen much of that from South tonight, Mick. That was nice and square, nice and straight. Reynolds square in the defensive line-up. Cody Walker going square at the line.
The ball is not grounded by Angus Crichton in goal. The on-field decision of penalty against Parramatta for contact off the ball remains. We have a decision.
And that contact was on Sam Burgess. You heard referee Peter Goff explain that to the bunker. Predetermination.
Well, this is where the Eels and Brad Arthur would have been most impressed with his side last week was their ability to hang on at the closing stages and turn the Bulldogs away, something we haven't seen a lot of from the Eels. They get their opportunity now with South on the attack.
Tavita Totola tried to trample the Eels. Now Cook finds Reynolds. Walker, wrap around Sutton, and Walker
Hands out.
couldn't get into position. Sutton takes the tackle, and Souths get another penalty.
Well, that's a number of penalties now. They are starting to increase. We saw Hymel Hunt go in the first half to the sin bin. Parramatta, they must be close to losing someone here.
I haven't heard or seen a warning at this stage. The Eels might just have one more to give before entering that sort of realm. Totola again.
Hell now. The ball, Nathan.
Game 19 at NRL level, still searching for his first try in this grade. Totola through the hands from close range. It opens up. Graham dives. Campbell Graham goes in. South Sydney get their second four-pointer, and there is life in the Bunnies yet.
Yeah, well, Jared Hayne just caught infield here. And the Rabbitohs skill down the edge through Reynolds. This time through Johnson. There you see Crichton, he overran it. Hayne caught infield, and the catch and pass from Gagai was on the money. And there you see Hayne just trying to force Graham towards the sideline, gave him too much room to move. And now all of a sudden, the Rabbitohs are back 20 points to 10 with a kick to come.
The 19-year-old is actually in his third year of NRL, just a taste of it in 2016, more in 17, but this is his 10th game of this season. And as you can see there, his 5th try for the year and his career.
Well, he showed some great signs in the Charity Shield out in Mudgee earlier in the season, but given the form of Richie Kenner and Robert Jennings in the early stages of the season, it was hard to see where Graham was going to get his opportunity. But through injury to Richie Kenner, he's got his chance, and now Reynolds looks to add the extras.
No goal.
Unable to do so. 20 points to 10, the score remains. It's been a good find, Graham.
Signed until the end of next season. Just 19 years of age, plenty of footy ahead of this young, tall, good finishing winger.
He's got the Mo going too for retro round. He's into the theme. Josh?
Yeah, I've got mine going too.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Good.
Very patchy, isn't it? It's very...
My mo or my hair?
Oh.
Didn't they let you shave in hospital this week?
I shaved my shoulder. That's about it.
Stay onside.
Should have shaved somewhere else.
Josh Reynolds rebuilt this week. He'll be ready to go for West Tigers 2019, where he's promised to play every single game.
It's a promise.
Stand together.
Leave him, David. Give room, Daniel.
They could have done with some of your energy and enthusiasm last night, the Tigers. Beaten by the Dogs.
Nathan there, give him the
And South Sydney back within 10 points. Still a lot of time to go in this one before we head to Melbourne for Storm and Raiders. And as Hymel Hunt tries to make something of the offload. 10 short of halfway. Cook running onto the ball. It's Totola. Catch and pass from Sam Burgess, and they work it to the right again. Gagai just couldn't get away. It was Jared Hayne coming in with an important tackle to complete the set. It's a kick across the field, out towards Bevan French. He loses it. Taken by South Sydney. Play on the call. Sutton saw it open up momentarily. But with a fresh set of tackles, South Sydney in great position again, and a penalty. Here's the warning, surely.
It's there, it's there. He's doing it right now.
No more, that's the warning.
He's doing it right now. Yeah.
Tell the
Right
troops,
now, John.
Clint. The next one sits down if it comes sometime soon.
Oh.
Look at that run.
He's in
and
trouble.
Daniel Alvaro is dazed on the ground and in need of attention.
Well, haven't they done some damage the last fortnight? The two Burgess boys. Oh, just the shoulder of Tom Burgess on the jaw of Alvaro, and absolutely flattens him. Oh, that's never good to see. He was terrific in the opening stages, Alvaro. He's just come onto the field for his second stint. His night will be all but over, unfortunately, there. He's been a shining light, Alvaro, in what's been a tough season for Parramatta. Never shirks the hard work. And now Vave gets himself off the push bike on the sideline.
He's the last surviving member of the starting front row. Kaiser Pritchard off with that shoulder injury early. Now Daniel Alvaro forced off a head injury assessment. Vave back on. And the Burgess twins. Big running games in 2018. Disciplined as well on previous seasons. And as a result, Souths in great position to go crash bang with another try. Here they come to the left. Johnston over the top, picked up by Robert Jennings. Again, he dives in untouched. He'll go joint top of the try-scoring tally. Valentine Holmes and Robert Jennings. 17 apiece, and the Bunnies are coming to get the Eels.
Well, persistence pays off. They come to this left-hand side again. Look at Sam Burgess there, the skill of the big man. French comes flying in to try and shut down, doesn't come up with the play, and who else but Robert Jennings. What a 2018 he has had, 17 tries. And as Holmes pulled away on Thursday night, Robert Jennings responds here this evening.
It's not a bad read here by French. He's just got to make the tackle. If he comes up with the tackle, shuts it down, it's a good play. You know, he's dropped that ball, put his team under pressure, and that's two plays that have, you know, cost them a try.
We love Bevan French, such an excitement machine, a highlight reel, but a tough couple of minutes there, putting down the kick from the previous set and then racing in and unable to complete the tackle. So Adam Reynolds steers this one straight over the black dots. 20-16. Best part of 19 to play.
Well, you think of that round 15 game when South Sydney were able to pile on 7 tries in such a short space of time. And you just get the feeling now that try on the right-hand side to Graham has given them an air of confidence, and all of a sudden their attack has clicked into gear. And a couple of injuries. The bench is decimating down there for the Eels. Only 2 left on there in Terapo and Mana now that Alvaro is in getting the HIA and Pritchard's night is done. What a big 18 minutes it is for the Eels.
Tom Burgess forward. He was the one who forced Daniel Alvaro off, so that's the bench. Mana, Terapo, now Sam Burgess. Talk about the Burgess trio, the Burgeye being offered a family package, if you like. $2 and a bit million a year for the 3 Burgess boys to stay at Redfern beyond next season. Hymel Hunt loses the ball. Was it stripped? It was. Penalty South Sydney. And they're queuing up again. It's a South Sydney home game. Plenty in the Burrow and a bit of bounce as you look around the stadium here at Sydney Olympic Park. They're lifting the team, as this man always does. Sam Burgess tackled, 15 metres out. Cook. This is Reynolds. And good tackle from Vave around the legs of Thomas Burgess, who is really getting involved. Cook behind Totola for Reynolds. Now Walker. And Sutton can't shake free of Moroa. Held up high by Mitchell Moses. Cook. In front of the uprights, it's Walker. A long ball straight to Hayne. He was in between Gagai and the passer.
It was very similar, wasn't it, to Thursday night when Matt Moylan threw that pass and Darius Boyd intercepted. Hayne sitting right in the attacking line of the Rabbitohs. Reynolds would like his time over again there. Just needed to hang on to the football. We saw it in the first half when the Eels rushed in Takarangi and he came up with a poor kick, and again there, just a rush of blood from Reynolds. Needs to run the ball. If someone's not in a better position... Speaking about better positions...
Shot.
Jared Hayne.
It was the pass from Nathan Brown that put Jared Hayne in danger. Campbell Graham spotting it, completing the top, and now out on the full.
Change over. Yeah.
They're inviting the Rabbitohs back into the contest here. Poor kick. Look, that's the pass there from Brown, and Graham came flying in. Hayne braced himself, and a poor kick from Mitchell Moses, and now South Sydney on play one already over halfway.
Hands off him.
Looking for the lead, the Rabbitohs. They were ahead 6-0 early. Down at half-time. They're coming back now.
Leave it there.
Damien Cook just jumping around, middle of the field. Sutton will defend on Moses to keep him at bay, but Mulroa makes the stop, along with Michael Jennings. Jason Clark onto the field.
I'd be looking for Crichton on Mitchell Moses. Corey Norman on that left-hand side for Parramatta.
At the 10-metre line, the Rabbitohs coming in a wave.
Corey now. Corey Norman,
And
mate.
another penalty.
Corey Norman, got him.
And he will go to the sin bin as well. The second player binned in this game. The warning came a few moments ago.
Yeah, but what, not now.
And there was that line from Angus Crichton, one-on-one. It was a good tackle from Corey Norman, but he got tangled up, and the warning it came, as you said, Matt. And what a challenge this presents now. There'll only be 4 or 5 minutes when he returns. There's Crichton just fighting in the desperation from the Eels. They try and get him on his back, and as he kicks and squirms, the referee's whistle goes. 10 minutes. Corey Norman, massive challenge now for Mitchell Moses to own this contest. Brad Arthur's spoken during the season about him owning this team and allowing Norman to float around and pick his moments. Massive challenge now for Moses.
This man, Clark, in his 10th and final season at South Sydney before heading to the Warrington Wolves. Cook finds a Burgess running close range. It's Thomas. He and George among the tries this season. Now Adam Reynolds. It's with Johnston.
Nathan up.
Well tackled by Niokore again. Reynolds and Cook. Goes through Walker, who wraps around Sutton. Walker can't get away from Moses or Mulroa, who forces him onto his back.
He did well, Moses.
Gets there.
2 plays left. Cook with the kick. It bounces off Parramatta, not played at, but there are numbers out here to the right. Gagai straightens. Dane Gagai gets his second for the game and levels us at 20. The referees like it. Dane Gagai straightened with success, and they'll kick for the lead.
Well, right where Corey Norman would have been defending, the Rabbitohs go to the right-hand side. Cook, a rush of blood, kicked the ball early in the tackle count. Reynolds got the ball to the space, and look at that right foot step and the acceleration and the power from Gagai as he slices through the Parramatta Eels defensive line. Bang, straight through. Gets the ball down, and all of a sudden now 20 points apiece with a kick to come from Reynolds. What a fight back from the Rabbits.
I thought they were a bit unlucky there, Mick. You know, as you said, Mitch Moses come up with a good read. That wraparound play is really hard to judge sometimes, and Mitch Moses come up with the right read, go back to the other side and score a try.
Well, they did well. It was the kick from Cook, and when that ricocheted, it just pulled the Parramatta Eels defensive line apart. There were some big spaces out on that right-hand side for South. Reynolds recognised that, got the ball straight to Gagai. What about the footwork, Josh?
One-on-one.
Outstanding. That's why they brought him to the club. And we've seen it time and time again at club level, at representative level. One-on-one, he is just such a handful, Gagai. And now, all of a sudden, Adam Reynolds to put the Rabbits in front.
Yeah, it's not too bad when you got that potent left edge, but then when you go back to the right, you got someone like Gagai who can put some feet on and come up with a try out of nowhere.
And South Sydney leads 22-20. They led until the 29th minute. They trailed by 12 at half-time. Now the flags are waving again because Dane Gagai has his first double, his first try-scoring double since 2015. And it means that on the live ladder, they're in provisional pole, if you like, top of the table again. But, of course, following this, Melbourne against Canberra can go back on top.
Yeah, you speak of retro, round 2 former teammates, Craig Bellamy and Ricky Stewart. No doubt they would have caught up for a beer, I would imagine, last night down in Melbourne. And the Raiders particularly have troubled Melbourne at different times. You've only got to think back to that prelim final where Edric Lee dropped the ball and the Raiders would have gone to the grand final.
I reckon it was Craig Bellamy's shout. Ricky would have needed a beer after the week. The season he's had. Let's not forget St George Illawarra in that mix either, who have a fantastic game tomorrow on your Sunday ticket, Fox League.
Massive game.
Against the Sydney Roosters, who racked up 56 points against Manly last week. At Lottoland, thank you very much. Give me a winner in that game, gentlemen.
I think the Roosters, I just think they're really warming. I mean, the Dragons were far improved last week in Townsville, but I really like the Roosters at the back end of this season. I think they're really building towards something.
I'll come back to your pick, Josh. We'll just watch the back end of this set because we've liked what we've seen from South Sydney in recent minutes. This is Thomas Burgess.
Last tackle. Let it go now, David. Not late.
Adam Reynolds again elects to put it end over end. We're yet to see that torpedo. The pushback from South, it's still there. Sutton looks for an option. It's Cody Walker kicking and chasing straight down to Clint Gutherson, but he's pinned in the corner. So tomorrow we've got Gold Coast against Warriors after the national touch NRL finals into Roosters against St George Illawarra at Allianz. Josh Reynolds, you would have been cheering at Allianz during the 90s for your club.
Yeah, not anymore though. Yeah, I'm with Mick. I think the Roosters, especially with someone like Cooper Cronk in their side, leading into the semi-finals, they'll be composed. They'll do everything right, and they'll make sure they do everything they need to win that game.
He's a good player. He's been terrific of late, Cooper Cronk. Just that experience into the Roosters side at this time of year. His kicking game.
Speaking of kicking game, there's Mitch Moses driving it low along the sideline and finding the mark. But we're inside the final 10 now. So a man playing his 100th NRL game can still smile. 70 minutes in, game on the line. It's been a good contest.
It may seem strange being 2 points behind, but given the fact that Norman is off the field, it's not the most silliest decision to roll the ball into touch, just to buy them a couple of extra minutes. Look at the possession there. South Sydney, 69% in this second half. It's incredible, the turnaround, given the fact that it was all Parramatta in the first half. That intercepted Jared Hayne that got called back where he slightly touched, where the ball, beg your pardon, slightly touched Alex Johnston. What a difference that would have been.
Clark.
Held now. Tap wide room.
Walker set off across field and found John Sutton straight and hard. The Rabbitohs in discussions with John. They're trying to get a deal done to keep him at the club for a 16th season next year. As I mentioned, this man headed to Warrington, but what a servant he's been for the Rabbitohs. Always a premiership winner with South Sydney. Now Cook running. There's support in field, but it's been ruled forward. Adam Reynolds come back in game 150.
Change
It's
over.
close, but forward out of the hands from Damien Cook.
He is electric out of dummy half. I haven't seen a quicker dummy half in all the years I've seen rugby league. He just puts opposition defences on high alert every time he gets out of dummy half. The ball fractionally forward there to Reynolds. Disappointment on Cook's face. What a season he's having, Damien Cook.
I think it's his first 3 steps, Mick. You know, there's some fast hookers in the game, but he just seems to beat the markers with ease every single time he runs the ball.
He's the most famous former beach breeder in Australia right now, Damien Cook. Often mentioned, but it makes sense. If you can get off your guts and run on the sand, imagine jumping out of dummy half on much firmer territory. Here's Nathan Brown. Trailing by 2. Parramatta still plenty of life in them as Terapo comes forward. Reid Marnie playing the best part of 80 minutes because of the injury to Pritchard. The skidding kick beautifully taken by Robert Jennings. And now he slips as he heads across field. That's a great retrieval. He could easily have knocked it on, but unfortunately he's picked up an injury.
Yeah, this is tough. He slips over here. There's no intent in the tackle, but it's going to be a penalty. That's a tremendous take from Jennings. Driven at a rate of knots from Moses, skids along the ground, and on the half volley picks it up. And we'll see as he gets across field, he beats a couple of Parramatta defenders and just there loses his footing, and it hardly touches him. It just hardly brushes him, and we hear the referees talking on their mics saying that this will be a penalty. There's not much Nakore can do different there. Reid Marnie coming from the field. What a performance from the young man. Called into the action early. When Pritchard dislocated his shoulder in the opening exchanges, he has been outstanding, the little number 9 for Parramatta this evening.
Mitch Moses there trying to find touch again, Mick. Just couldn't get it. It was a great take.
Yeah, well, it's a concern, obviously, here for Robert. You never like to see this. Unfortunately, he just loses his footing.
Just running through all the necessary precautions when you pick up a neck injury, and you can see this will be an HIA for Robert Jennings.
Yeah, it's where they're so balanced. They've been able to have Dewey come into the left centre position and give Heimel Hunt a rest, but now obviously with that utility value of Dewey and what he presents, and now the injury to Jennings. This was the angle here. I mean, the stray arm just comes over the top and brushes his head. So obviously, as you said, Matty, taking full precautions, and great to see Jennings. As we see Alvaro come on there from the commentary box, we can see Jennings walking off unassisted, which is terrific.
Hannah, sideline.
Yeah, Matty, I just wanted to touch on Daniel Alvaro. He didn't just walk out from the tunnel. He ran out and was standing on the sideline, and you could see him jumping up and down, itching to get back out there. Only 7 minutes to go, but they're an important 7 minutes if Parramatta are going to turn it around.
Yeah, Daniel back from the head bin as Robert heads towards it. And South Sydney, after this one, a big 3 games ahead. Melbourne next week on Friday, then Sydney in the same slot the following week, on to Brisbane at Suncorp. So Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane for the Bunnies after this one. Alex Johnston, he stopped right on halfway. Down a very short side, it's Dewey towards the sideline, and Heimel Hunt gets there to try and help his teammates stay in the field of play, and does so successfully. Now a long ball for Cody Walker. Sam Burgess, middle of the field. Adam Reynolds long, where they have numbers. Campbell Graham can gallop forward and then take the tackle from Terapo. The defence slides across. South inside the 10 momentarily. Reynolds thought about passing his kick into Tim Manor. Back for Clark. But it's been ruled knock on South Sydney.
Wait there, just wait.
Hasn't had a happy night, has he? Adam Reynolds with his short kicking game. Obviously, those aerial kicks and his long kicks have been on point as always, but his short kicking game, attacking kicking game tonight is not what we normally come to expect of someone of such quality. This man's been outstanding. Nakore for the Parramatta Eels.
Well, Mick, having sat sideline here at South Sydney games and marvelled at Adam Reynolds' torpedo bombs, I drove here looking forward to seeing at least some similar, but I can't remember one tonight.
No, I mean, I was down there watching him warm up as well, and it is a feature of his game, isn't it? I mean, his ability to get that spiral bomb perfected the way he has. I mean, Gutherson must have done an mountain of work in preparation this week, but it hasn't been there tonight.
Here's Mitchell Moses, the chip and chase from Mitchell Moses as the support gets through in the form of Gutherson. A second kick out towards the wing, and it's kept in the field of play, but only to be pushed into touch. They are chancing their arm in the final 5, Parramatta.
It's a good little play there from Mitch Moses. He got plenty of kick pressure there from Sam Burgess. Took him on, chip and chase. Just got unlucky with that second kick.
He's a wonderful support player. Gutherson always putting himself in the frame, and Hayne did a terrific job to try and keep the ball in. Unfortunately, as we see Corey Norman back into the fray now with 4.5 minutes remaining. The Parramatta Eels trailing by 2.
South Sydney work it out of their 20 through Sam Burgess. It's been hard work for the Rabbitohs as Clark gets the offload back to Cook, onto Reynolds. Now Angus Crichton. A couple of really destructive runs from Angus so far in this game. Burgess again for Walker. Sutton changes the direction. This time there's no room for Cook out of dummy half, so he flicks it out the back door to Sutton, the one-handed carry. Game 301. His milestone last week being celebrated this evening as Reynolds goes high out towards the wing of Hayne, who stands his ground, can't make the catch. Can it be a hat-trick for Gagai? He's dropped it.
In the field of play, leave it, Dane.
Whoa, 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 stop. You've got a knock on.
Handover.
So the ruling was knocked on in the field of play, so they'll hand it over 10 metres out. Gutherson was headed back to the 20, and a 7-tackle set.
Casual from Hayne, just stood his ground, didn't really leave the ground, and it was Gagai that flew over the top of him, and somehow, oh, there it is. The desperation of Clint Gutherson.
That's 2 tonight.
Yeah, it's been a 5-star performance from the Parramatta fullback tonight.
Game 151 for Dane Gagai. He's never scored an NRL hat-trick.
A penalty. They've overturned the decision as a penalty now.
Inside. The mark's there.
On the
A
line.
penalty. I'm still trying to have a look at the referees to get some sort of signal as to what the penalty was for.
Well, it's unfolded why the replays were getting shown. We see 22 penalties tonight, and Reynolds.
You just walk it back and line up a shot for goal to choose some time off the clock, or will he drive it towards the sideline?
I think it's for touch.
Yep. And ahead by 2, they'll chase a converted try and an 8-point lead with 2.5 left.
Hold the line. Hold. Let's go.
You're watching Super Saturday on Fox League. George Burgess it is. 3 Burgess, 2 Jennings, and Adam Reynolds on the field, and Josh Reynolds in the commentary box. Tough night. As Sam Burgess goes forward. Looking for the knockout blow. The killer punch, is it from Cook? Surrounded by Parramatta Eels. He'll play it a metre out. Now they spread it over the top of Hayne this time. Graham for a double. He's in the 19-year-olds. That's the winner for South Sydney, surely. 26-20. Forget the left, it's all right on the right tonight for the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, it's been beautiful play here from Adam Reynolds down this right-hand side in the second half. Big Rusty there. He'll be loving it. And this was the play. Hayne, very casual. Gagai sailed over the top of him. And in amongst that, we got a penalty, and then Reynolds goes this side. Now, Hayne's been coming up all night, and he's been caught in field in the last 10 minutes twice. This time, Reynolds, he lands the pass with perfection. And Campbell Graham. And he gets the Rabbitohs the win, and what a second half it's been, and a relieving win for Coach Anthony Seabolt.
I'll tell you one thing about Reynolds, he hasn't been scared to throw that ball. He's come up with nearly 2 intercepts, but he's still stuck at it and comes up with a big play. to score a try there in the corner.
Well, they obviously had a plan, didn't they? They've obviously had a plan that Jared Hayne and Takarangi at times can be caught infield and love to wedge, as they call it, defensively. And that time, caught a mile infield, was Jared Hayne. And the key was the pass not only from Reynolds, but the width that Graham, he holds his sideline, gives himself an opportunity to get in the corner, and did so beautifully.
4 tries become 6 tries for Campbell Graham this season. A double tonight. This to go beyond a converted try. 21 seconds left in the game. South Sydney, having been beaten by West Tigers last week, are in line to beat Parramatta a round down the track.
You know, it's a timely response, given the fact that obviously, you know, their home game for John Sutton, the 300, the grandstand named after him here this evening, and a wonderful turnout from Rabbitohs fans, and they have delivered in the second half.
The Fox Sports Lab had South Sydney coming into this game just under a 20% chance to win the minor premiership. That will climb on the back of this win. They're right in the mix to finish the regular season on top as the short kickoff falls for Adam Dewey inside the final 10 seconds. From 18-6 down at half-time, the Rabbitohs have come back to win it. Maybe a theme for the day. Second half comebacks. It's down to Melbourne against Canberra after this, as the full-time siren sounds. 5 tries to 3. They had to work hard, but the Rabbitohs get their 14th win of the season and can find Parramatta to outright last. It's South Sydney 26, Parramatta 20.